everyone knows Amazon Bedrock is the managed service from Amazon, probably one of the most powerful, most flexible across the hyperscalers to run your LLMs, right? We leverage it, obviously being an AWS advanced consulting and GenAI competency launch partner, we leverage Bedrock across our implementations. But they've now expanded, the number of models that can be there. So one change that has happened now is that while they've looked at the biggies till date, you have your Anthropic models, in fact, exclusively Anthropic models on Amazon, right? Then you've got Meta models, then, you've got your other, even Amazon, native like Titan models and AI 21 lab models. They've now allowed or supporting Cohere models as well. Cohere primarily R and R plus models, which are, so if our listeners are not aware, Cohere R is primarily their RAG pipeline model, right? And R plus is a more advanced RAG pipeline model, which primarily also cites inline the source, right? From where you've actually, something similar to what Perplexity also does, where the response has come in, right? So these are the two models that Cohere brings out of the box. Now, these models are now available on Bedrock as well, right? So how this actually helps, our CIOs are probably, consumers as well. Again, Bedrock is, and we've, again, as I mentioned, we've leveraged it, is probably one of the easiest and one of the simplest, managed services to implement. Now you probably can experiment and implement your Cohere models as well to try it out, right? So, yeah, so good update, again, more from flexibility perspective.
I think more kudos to Amazon Bedrock for continuously launching some really good models that can be used. I mean, imagine just a few months back, it was completely unusable with the older Claude 2.1 and the Llama 2. These were the only two models available. With the Opus 3 and Llama, and then the Mistral
Mr.
release,
Models,
I
yeah.
think Bedrock had taken the game really seriously.
On that
Congrats.
matter, Shiva, we are seeing a lot of adoption on Sonnet as well. Like when we started, right, we thought probably Opus and Haiku, because Opus is still expensive, or it's more expensive than Turbo, and now obviously with 4.0, like bringing the cost further down, it's an expensive model. It's a powerful model, but it's an expensive model, right? As an alternative for a lot of SMB and startup customers that we're doing, Sonnet brings in I will not say exact accuracy, but brings in a good amount of accuracy, but at an affordable price, which is much cheaper than 4.0 as well, right? So again, as you rightly mentioned, with these models, Bedrock is now becoming more consumable, of course.
I mean, and one thing probably for our viewers to understand, what is the big deal about Amazon Bedrock? It runs locally
Yeah.
within AWS, within your VPC, logical VPC, which means which your private cloud, which means your data does not leave your private cloud, right? And that ensures compliance, default compliance with all the compliance that you may need, HIPAA, GDPR, PCI DSS, whatever that you SOC 2,
We
etc.
we are using it for
That's
life sciences and healthcare customers. Shiva, you're aware of it, right? So absolutely right. I mean, from data privacy perspective and compliance perspective, and that's why I started. It's probably one of the most flexible and easily usable solutions here.